Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. We're pleased to be joined by Lavar Scott of Rev Racing, coming off a good weekend at Hickory Motor Speedway. Talk about your weekend and how you did.
Yeah, the weekend was great. I learned a lot I went out for qualifying and I timed like the best time I ever finished from the whole year. Like that was my best ever lap, was a 15:04. So I qualified fourth and we had to start fifth for some reason. I don't know why, but we qualified fourth, we started fifth. The beginning of the race, started, just regular mid-pack, just riding around. And then by lap 15, I started picking up cars slowly by slowly, made up the second, finished second that race, was catching leaders little by little, but a couple more laps, we maybe could have had something, but it was good to finish second, be on podium at least. And second race, I started fifth again because of the invert. I started fourth because the invert made up the second within one lap actually. And then lap 3, the car started bugging because of carburetor issues. So we had to pull in, unfortunately, and end the night for us.
Yeah. So what's been the biggest thing that you yourself have learned throughout all this racing stuff since you've been involved in this program?
I think the biggest thing is just talking with my guys and feedback. I think feedback is extremely important, just because if you tell somebody the car is feeling one way and they do an adjustment, but the car is actually doing something else, that can mess up your whole race. So I think this year I've been focusing on feedback and how to get better feedback and making sure I'm splitting the corners up from entry, middle, exit. Because if I'm tight in the middle, that means I could be loose off exit. But if I just say I'm loose off exit, I can mess up the whole car. So I think feedback is very, very important right now.
So let's talk about what the rest of the year holds for you. Where are you going? Where are you guys heading off next?
I think Isabella and Roger are going to Hickory again on the 22nd. Okay. And me and Regina probably will race the weekend after again. Yeah. So we get a week off because Roger's racing Dover this upcoming week. So
you guys gonna head over to Dover and watch him or something like that?
I don't think we can because of COVID, unfortunately. I wish. Like every week I always ask Brooke, can I go to the Arca Race? Because I think this would be an awesome time to experience to see what really happens at the bigger events, but I don't think we can this year because of COVID.
Okay, so let's go through like a lot of these big tracks. Like, what track are you? If you could run any track, which one would you like prefer running on? Like, what's a track that you've always wanted to run on?
There's two, either Bristol or Martinsville.
You're a short track guy.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
So yeah, I mean, so what's been the? I know you've gone to a lot of short tracks around the area. Would you rather go to like Nashville Fairgrounds, Toledo, or Five Flags?
Oh, I think Five Flags, or no, probably Nashville. Nashville looked pretty cool. Yeah. Nashville was a really cool track. It had a little banking on the bottom. You couldn't really necessarily run the whole bottom. You had to run like a groove up. I think that was a pretty cool track.
So there's also a big personality hanging out at Rev Racing for the next few weeks. If you haven't heard, Noah Cornelius, aka Noah Talks NASCAR, is going to be going to be with you guys a lot this season. He's part of the internship with Rev Racing.
Yes.
Also, as well. What has it been like to have him around? Because he is quite the character, I will say.
Yeah.
He's been a name that a lot of people have gotten to know this year.
Yeah. Noah's a cool person. He's very cool. I mean, he's very good with his tech stuff. Like he's good at putting tweets out and getting emails and telling us, "Hey, Lavar, come, let me take a picture of you talking about how your week is going to go, or what are you looking forward to." So he's always trying to figure out something to get different type of media stuff out there. So, and it's awesome having around to have somebody that's good at taking pictures and good at making sure I'm putting out there and he can help me. Hey, no, do you think this looks good or stuff like that? So I think it's a good extra person to have here just to make sure all platforms look good.
That's good. So of course, you've been spending a lot of time at Hickory the next few weeks. When you've ran at a track for so many times, do you feel like it's like from the back of your hand or something?
Definitely not. I only went 3. That was my 3rd race actually, and people at Hickory, they've been racing there for years. So I think I still have a ton to learn. But each week I learn a lot, just even with feedback. And then like this weekend, I learned a big thing just with my line. I tried something different and it worked. So I think I still have a lot more to learn, but it's getting better and better.
Yeah. And the last thing is, how was of course, how was Mother's Day yesterday? I know that your
But
mom has a history in racing as well. Of course,
mhm,
not on the stock car side, but on the drag racing side. But overall, how did your day go yesterday?
awesome. We came back from the track Saturday night. Well, I came back late because I drove by myself. Came back. I came in the house and everybody was knocked out asleep. So we woke up kind of late, and then we all went out to Waffle House and went to the mall for a little bit, got some Starbucks, and just for us, they chilled. But then they had to drive home that night, last night. So, but it was had a fun day. I'm happy to see Arca Race here this weekend. Haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah. All right. All right, Lavar Scott, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us, and good luck in a few weeks.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. It was awesome.